In this video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of these 7 filtration devices out of your shop for painting and use just this one I got in my pocket. Stay tuned. Alright, before we go over this special guy here in my pocket, let's go over these guys. So this right here, this is a drop tank. So this allows me when I show up in other people's shops, I can pull directly into their air. The air feeds in, drops down into the tank. So any of the moisture, anything like that, is going to drop down to this drop tank. Anything I pull out of it, I pull out of the top side of the air, so it's already clean. And I take that air and I feed it over into this big giant desiccant filter. This desiccant filter is messy, it's dirty, you gotta change it out about every month or two when you're using it on a constant. And then on top of that, it's just a real pain. You gotta undo these giant caps, pour in this stupid powder, and you gotta filter the powder because it has dust in it, or the dust gets into your paint, and that just makes everything even worse. So then after that, I've got this nifty toilet paper filter. This is real old school. This is literally you just shove a roll of toilet paper in it. There's your filter. In case you need to wipe your butt while you're painting, you got it there too. And again, you can see the corrosion inside that this gets. Toilet paper gets the water up on the inside. Just gets nasty. You end up getting all kinds of fun stuff in there. It's just not good. And then on top of that, usually you're running a manifold. You want to keep your pressure in, so you got another water catch right here. This guy's one of this metal screen type, so it's just another drop catch. So when the water goes in, it comes through there, filters down, drops in the bottom. You got the little P-trap down here to eliminate it. Just another filter. Then you got this guy. This is my last line of defense. This right here goes on the bottom of my paint gun. So I have that last line of defense. It's my last chance not to get any water in the paint whatsoever. And honestly, if you notice, that's a lot of gear. That is a ton of gear. It's a lot of filters to keep up on, and that's not even it. When you come out of the air compressor, because you want to make sure you got good air feeding this tank, you want to run another freaking filter. So you're going to run an oil separator and another desiccant. Now, it's less of an oil separator than another freaking water drop, but it will catch oil. All this crap, that's 7 filters I just showed you. 7 ways of filtering before it gets out to my paint gun, so I can make sure I don't get any water or debris or anything in my paint. I got challenged by Ken. Well, not really a challenge. He told me he had one of the most amazing filters, and he explained it to me, told me I had this hardened case, told me I had this magical thing inside, and he gave me one about 2 years ago. And since that point, I have literally built an entire car. I've done an entire 3 paint jobs. I painted an entire bed, all the fabrication, all the plasma cutting, all the stuff it took to build the car. We have done so much with this filter. I finally killed it. It kind of started slowing up on air, and I didn't want to just clean it out because that's not my way. If you're using it on a daily use, you're supposed to replace it every month. And if you're using it weekly, you're supposed to replace it every 3 months. I went about 2 years because I wanted to see how bad it would get, what I could do. I'd pull it out, I'd wipe it. I really wanted to see how long you could just keep using the same element with just a little bit of wiping, a little bit of water, and could you kill it? I wanted to know how good this filter was. I wanted to know if I was ever going to get water coming out in my paint. So I'd spray my hand down. You do the regular hose purge before, because I'm not going to hold it on the filter for the hose. You know, you kind of spray out your hose, because we hook the hose together into the night so no water gets in. But spray them out on your hand after you get all the air purged. No water. And it kept working like that forever until it kind of started locking up a bit and it started not working. So the air compressor I had a capability of 200 psi. I cranked her up to 180 and I kept hitting the hose until something gave and it popped. And we're going to take it apart here in a second, and I'm going to show you the insides of a new one, and I'm going to show you the insides of the one that went boom. All right, I'm going to show you what this desiccant looks like when it shows up. So it is not, like I told you, it's messy as crap, and you got to fill 2 of those devices with this garbage. Oh, and see, look, I just cut the freaking package too. That's going to be great. But it's all these little freaking beads. And they just get freaking everywhere. These little garbage ass beads. And they've got this dust on them that gets in everything else and just makes a mess. So then you got to clean out your other filters after you've loaded the new filter. It just gets everywhere. This is a fisheye filter. This right here is the only filter you actually need on your system. This is it. All 7 of the other ones you don't need. You need this one. Right now it's a secret and shouldn't be, but it is literally the best filter on the market. This is the one I blew up. This is the one we're going to take apart and take a look at. This guy has this cool little agroscopic filter that stops all the water and all the gunk and everything like that. You can actually wipe this off and clean it instead of replacing it. It is such an awesome little filter. They say the replacement on these, like I said before, if you're using it on a weekly, you replace it every 3 months. And if you're using it on a daily, you replace replace it every month. But you can also just wipe it, clean it, and stuff like that. We were running 2 air hoses off of ours, and with the wiping and cleaning and everything like that, and I probably did that about every month and a half, it made it probably, I think, about 2 years. I want to show you guys how to put this bad boy back together. It's super simple, super easy. Put this little rubber O-ring down here on the bottom, the dink. You throw your element back in. Dink. Take your O-ring, set her right in there, line her up, push down on the spring, snug her up, and right into your air system. It is the best filter that I promise you can ever purchase on the market. It's amazing. It is not a paid promotion, anything like that. I will be putting these filters on Empathy on the airbag system. I'm gonna run it right off the compressor right before the tank. I'm putting 2 of them right there. That's my ultimate goal because I know these things will handle it. These things handled 150 PSI all day long, beating the crap out of them, building the car. I am absolutely humbled by these things. The max PSI 125, he may say that, I guarantee they'll hit 200 and be just fine. Let's take a look at what happened to mine. A little emblem up, pretty. Oh yeah. We got some gunk in that bad boy. A little bit. You can tell it blew up with some water. I've been wiping it out as I went. Ew, it's all slimy. There she is. That's where she burst. There's a spot on the inside. Look at right there. That's where she popped. That's after all that abuse. That's freaking awesome. So this is what a new element's supposed to look like. That's one after beating on it for 2 years. I guarantee this thing in your home situation or even your professional situation is the best investment you will make to protect any of your air tools, to protect any of your airbrushes, air guns, anything you do with air. This, I promise you, will add life to your tools. You're not going to be pushing water through them. You're not going to be pushing any bad contaminants through them. This filter will save you money. I don't have them yet. Imagine there's a little minnow filter that goes on your airbrush. It's so epic that he can actually get another one in here. It's a tinier filter. It's such a great addition to any of your filtration family. Literally all I'll ever run anymore is a fisheye filter and probably a minnow. That's all the filtration I'll need for any of my devices or any of the stuff I got going on. It'll be, since we're hitting the road, it's gonna be so awesome not to have to carry around the giant tank anymore. I'll put a link in the description where you can go online and get one of these for yourself. You can probably get them on Amazon. You can probably get them just about everywhere. I know Coast Airbrush has them because that's where I got mine. Promise, it's probably the best investment you'll ever make to protect any of your tools, any of your airbrushes, your DAs, any of that kind of stuff. This is the best investment. I believe it's about $45. What's $45 to protect the lifetime on a $500 sander? Heck, a $1,000 paint job or $10,000 paint job. This will save your butt. Invest in it. I promise it won't be a bad investment. Love you. See you tomorrow.